Hi, this is Matt Demidio. I am a martial artist out of Seattle, Washington, and I wanted to sit down and have conversation with my grandfather, talking about his story and trying to understand and find some wisdom and inspiration from one of the most important men in my life. This is exciting. This is my first time doing anything like this. I read a book a few months ago, and it was the inspiration for this idea. It was talking about different cultures and the idea of passing on elder wisdom. So in this one particular culture, like every culture has their idea of when a boy becomes a man through the different, whatever the ceremony is, right? And in this one culture, they would take the boys and take them from their homes, and then they would live with all the elders of the community for a few years. And in that time, they would learn, like, obviously the physical aspects of becoming a man in this time, but also the emotional and the spiritual side of what it means to be a man and what is required to be a man. I think a lot currently in our time that a lot of that wisdom is lost and isn't being passed on, and it's just kind of the way things are set up now. So in reading that and thinking and recognizing that I'm very grateful that I have my grandpop, and I wanted to be able to, like, first for myself, learn just and hear his story and through his own words, and also in general for everyone in the Demidio family and for future generations have a digital record of your story through your own words. So I'd like to introduce my grandpop.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Joe Demidio, born September 28, 1924. Lived here in Bristol. My mother died when I was 5 years old. Left 4 children. My brother Benny, me, Art, and Carl. We separated. My brother went to live with my father, Benny and Art. I went to live with my grandmother, and my youngest, Carl, went to live with my aunt. I worked on a farm till I was 16 years old. I quit school when my grandfather died. I went to work at a place called Steele's, and it was worsted yarn. And what I did there was change the gears of the machines. Nice job. The older people there said, "Why don't you go and ask the boss for a raise? If we don't get the raise, we're all going to walk out." So my buddy and I, we went down to the office and asked for a raise. The guy kicked us out of the office, fired us on the spot, and we told all the people they were waiting at a window there, and we were going, that we got fired. And they went like that.
Goodbye.
So from there, I went to Fleet Wings. They were building airplanes. So I went to school there to learn blueprints and riveting. Worked there and got my notice 1A draft. So I had to quit that job and went and joined the Navy.
So how old were you
I
at
was
this point now?
18.
18. Okay.
So went into the Navy, and I went to Sampson, New York for boot training.
Okay.
From there, after boot training,
Wait, real quick, how was boot training? How long was it? Was it like
Six-
very difficult?
I think it was 6 weeks.
Okay.
And from there, they sent me to Little Creek, Virginia
Okay.
for boat training.
For boat training. Okay.
So trained there, and then from there, I went to Fort Pierce, Florida for more boat training.
Okay.
From there, then I picked up my ship, which was an LST.
Okay.
An LST is a ship that has a flat bottom and goes right on the beach and unloads tanks. So on that LST, I was attached to the small boats. They called LVPs.
Okay.
A lot of them called landing craft, small boats.
Okay.
And our job was to take soldiers off of the transport ships and take them into the beach. So Normandy, our ship, left us off maybe 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
We had 6 small boats attached to this LST. They dropped us off, and they unloaded, went back to England, and left us on the beach for, I guess, it was a good week, where all we did was, take the soldiers off transport ships. Well, we had no food, so what we had to do when we wanted food, we had to go to any Navy ship and they would feed us. So this one night we decided, let's go to the merchant marine ships. We heard they have good food. So we go there and they wouldn't feed us. They turned us away. So we was another little minesweeper behind it. So we said, I will go there. They fed us. And we slept about 2 o'clock in the morning. This ship that we wanted to go on got bombed.
Really?
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
They
Didn't
turned
feed
us
you.
away.
Man.
Because what we did then, we had our small boats, and we took some of the survivors off this ship.
Okay.
Then, after that, all we did was transport soldiers and food to France. I remember we had loads of cigarettes.
Yeah.
We had cigarettes, a load of candy, Hershey's, and O. Henry, the whole ship full of. And our captain says, whatever you do, they knew we would raid it. Don't leave any empty cartons.
No evidence.
Yeah, no evidence.
Tobacco and chocolate.
So we had Hershey bars to give to the French
Yeah.
woman that we picked up.
That's so sweet.
And, well, after the Navy, got home, got discharged, and I was only home about 2 or 3 days, And my uncle said, there's a store on Mill Street that's looking for help. I figured I would go there and ask for a job, but I really wanted to go into air conditioning.
Okay.
I was waiting, to find out where I could go to school. So I worked for this, name was Charlie Richmond. And what I did there was trim wallpaper. Wallpaper comes with a size that you have cut the ends off. I did that, and first thing you know, he gets into selling gas ranges, sinks, stuff like that. So then I figure, well, I'll stick around. He tells me, he says, there was a rug that he sold of rugs. And he says, deliver it down on Rackler Street. Well, he didn't have a truck. He had a brand new Oldsmobile. So I said, how do you carry it? I didn't know. He said, you push it through the window, part of it sticks out. So I'm going down Rackler Street, trying this car out. I had to put the brakes on that thing. Went out the window, and it's grinding all the side there, stones. And I had to get this thing and lay it out for the woman. I take it there, unroll it, all the stones coming. So I took it back, I said, I had to put the brakes on. He let it go at that. Then, like I said, he was just getting cabinets, and they were tough to get. He says, go and hang. He said, you know how to hang cabinets? Yeah. So,
yeah. Did you know how to hang cabinets?
So it was raining that day.
Yeah.
And it was he had like a concrete wall separated. So I had the star drill, and I got these pieces of wood outside, put it in there, hung the cabinets. Beautiful cabinets, sink underneath, stove. That's a Saturday. I go in Monday morning. He says, go upstairs. I go up there. The cabinets fell off the wall. The wood dried out.
Yeah.
Cabinets fell off the wall, damaged the sink and stove. I figure, well, there goes my job. But I hung in there.
Yeah.
And at the time, he was doing linoleum work.
Okay.
And I was getting $35 a week, working 5 days and 2 nights. This fellow laying linoleum, he was making $75, $80, $100 a week laying linoleum. I said, well, that sounds good. So there was a school in Trenton under the GI Bill that I said, well, I'll go learn to lay linoleum. So I go there, and pretty good. I learned to lay linoleum. From there, I went to Armstrong in Lancaster, went to school there. And from there, I went to Kearney, New Jersey, to learn to lay linoleum. I was pretty good.
Yeah.
First thing you know, my knees from,
Yeah, up and down on the knee.
like every 6 months, I had to take the
The fluid.
water out.
Yeah.
whatever. So I figured, well, I can't do this, you know. So I figured, well, at that time, cabinets were just coming out, you know. So I had me and my partner, we said, let's learn the cabinet business. So we go to Chicago to learn layouts, you know, all about kitchens. So we start doing kitchen work and got out of the floor covering. So we named the thing Cameo Kitchens. We did, well, mostly was stock cabinets at the time.
Yeah.
So we said, let's get into the real custom cabinets. So we tied up with this outfit, Adelphi Kitchens. We go there, the guy says, whenever you pick up cabinets, I want to get paid. No cabinets leave here unless we get paid. Okay. So there, I guess I was with him 30 some years. Then your dad was living in Hawaii at the time. I said, come back, you know, to the kitchen business. We do kitchens and baths. So he came in and we worked together. Then I decided, well, you know, time for me. He was doing like most of the work. I was doing just in a store.
The administrative work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I retired, and here I am.
Yeah. While you were running Cameo, or when you started that, did you ever get into any other businesses or any other
Yeah.
ideas?
What we did, we decided one year we were going to sell toys. I had the building on Pond Street,
Yeah.
so we ordered all these toys.
Where did this idea come from? You just you were tired of buying toys for the kids,
toys.
so
Yeah. So we did that for 2 years.
yeah.
Gave that up.
Was it?
Then we had part of the building that we had. We worked one part and the other part. So we put pool tables and ping pong
Yeah.
machines in. We did that maybe a year or two. That didn't pay off.
No.
So that's it.
Yeah. When you ran, how many years were you running Cameo? Like 30 some plus?
In business, I was in business 54 years.
54 years. Oh yeah, you guys had the 50 year anniversary.
From the floor covering to the, you know,
Yeah.
these other businesses. Tried everything.
Yeah. What would you say that, like, in working, at what point would you say in your business did you feel like super confident, or like that you were like a master of putting in kitchens? Because like I'm sure in the very beginning
Well, what we did, I had a partner. We decided that we would go and become certified kitchen designers.
Okay.
It was pretty tough. We had to, you know, draw blueprints where the electric was, where the plumbing, you know, the whole thing. And an architect had to approve these drawings.
Okay.
And in order to do that, you became certified kitchen designer. At the time, my number was 189. That's 189 of us in the whole United States.
Oh, wow. Yeah, one of the first.
Yeah. So, like I say, then everybody started to get into the kitchen business.
Yeah.
But we were really one of the first to get into it.
Yeah.
You know, making, before, like, they would buy 54-inch metal sink, and that was it. Maybe a little cabinet. But what we did was, do the whole built-in ovens, the whole.
Yeah, offering all that custom design and everything like that. What was like some of the major lessons you feel like you learned working on the job site for 50 plus years putting in kitchens?
Well, on every job we did, either if my partner sold the job, he would work it. If I sold it, I would be on that job, because I knew what goes.
Yeah.
But then it got to a point where my partner and I would sell a job. I was selling, maybe I would work on a job, one job, another. And I remember it was about a month that I was working every day. Finally, my job got done, and I told my partner, okay, good, you work your jobs. He said, I don't have any. You've been in the store for a month? You didn't sell anything?
Yeah.
What he did, the way I figured it, he'd go out on an estimate, give him a real high price. Knew he wasn't going to get the job. So then we broke up.
Yeah. How many different partners did you go through over the time before,
Well,
like my dad?
When we started out in the floor covering, there was 3 of us.
Okay.
Joe Buss, Frank Lacoste, and me. Well, this Joe Buss, he was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So we sent him out on a job. Never showed up.
Not a good
Finally, he
look.
comes into the store. We said, you have to go.
Yeah.
So we bought him out. Then it was just me and my partner.
Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah. Does looking or stepping out of the work scene, what was some things that you would do after work to relax or calm down? What are some things that you enjoyed outside of working?
Then I had a trailer at the time, and we used to go camping.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, we had a nice group of people. We would go camping, and then we learned to square dance.
Yeah.
See? So when we go out camping, like one night, 2 nights, we would square dance and really have a nice time, party after.
Sure.
Yeah.
What were some of your favorite spots that you went camping to?
Well, most of the camping we did then was like in around Lancaster.
Okay.
Yeah. Then when my wife died, then I was home, and first thing you know, a friend of mine says they're doing square dancing here in Bristol.
Yeah.
So he says there's a woman there that needs a partner. I figured, well, let me go. Let me go.
Yeah.
That's when I met Jeannie.
Oh, that's very cute. Um, what when you are like, so you do square dancing, right? So that's like a form, definitely a form of movement and exercise. I know that one thing that pre-pandemic, you always go to the gym, always doing movement. Have you always like prioritized moving and like because
Yeah.
like your
Well,
physical health?
I always walked
Walked.
quite a bit,
Yeah.
and then, but square dancing, Jeannie and I, we've been just about everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, California, Costa Rica,
Oh wow.
Hawaii. Yeah,
No, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
really cool that you get to travel and do those kinds of things.
yeah.
Uh,
We really enjoy it.
yeah, that's beautiful.
Kept us moving.
No, absolutely. It's very similar to me and Evie will go and do jujitsu in different spots.
Yeah.
So we've done jujitsu all over the world, and we'll continue to travel and do it. It's fun. You get to meet other people that do jujitsu, which is probably
Yeah.
similar to square
That's it.
dancing. You get to meet other people.
Oh,
that,
we met beautiful people.
yeah. It's the
real
shared interest, the shared passion.
real nice. We miss it,
Sure.
right? Friends, yeah. All my friends, I had quite a few of them.
Yeah.
They all passed away.
Yeah. I mean, does you at this point, is there like anything that you feel like you want to do? So like you did square dancing, you've done so many things. Is there anything that you like feel like you want to do in life that you haven't had
No,
an
I think-
opportunity to?
I think I just about did everything.
Yeah, you've been there, done
I
that.
still like the casinos.
Sure.
That's my.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Tell me the story of your big win in the
Oh.
casino.
Well, we're at Atlantic City, and we stood overnight there.
Yeah.
And they were going to introduce a new card game at the Taj Mahal. I said, well, I want to see this game because I played it in Vegas.
Okay.
So I waited, and Jeannie, I said, 3 o'clock, we're going to leave. And this game was supposed to come on at 12. Well, I'm at the table, pretty good. I made $300 or $400, And I looked at the time, been there 3 o'clock. I go over to where she's playing the machine. I said, let's go. She said, I got a couple more quarters. Let me play them out. So I take $10, put it in there, nothing. Get another $10, put it in, and I'm playing 1 quarter at a time, just to kill
Yeah.
time. Jeannie says, you better put the full amount in, which is 3 quarters.
Okay.
So I put the 3 quarters in. First thing you know, she's hollering. I'm looking up. I thought it made $70.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, she's jumping up, and here it was, 700,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. 750,000.
How did you feel? Like, is it disbelief or kind of like?
Didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me. Grandpa, I don't think that would bother me either. $750,000. I think I can make it work.
But, yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that's a fun memory.
Then they want us to stay overnight, so we stood another night. But I remember we wanted to see Paravachi.
Yeah.
You couldn't get tickets. Remember, they were all sold out. So when I won, the woman gave me a card. She said, anything you want, give me a call. So I called her up. We got 2 tickets to see Paravachi.
Look at that.
What was that? Parvati? Pavarotti. Oh, Paravachi. Close.
Close. It ends in the I. You got the, yeah.
Close enough.
Um,
So, got to see him.
There you go. That's awesome. Well, going back one, you said you got to travel a lot for square dancing. What have been some of your favorite places that you've been to, or whether it be cities or countries?
Favorite place that we both like is Alaska.
Yeah. Where in Alaska, and what did you like about
Well,
Alaska?
What we did, we got married there.
Yeah.
We went up there and got married in Juneau, Alaska. And then we got married aboard ship with a captain.
Yeah.
And where else? I think we've been married 5 times. We got married, like I say, Alaska, aboard ship, then the casino. Yeah.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
First was on the banks of Coal Creek in Juneau, Alaska, by a minister. And by this Coldstream is like that, so that was our music. But anyway, then we got married on board ship. The captain married us on board ship. See, we had to get married on land. Oh, we were on a cruise, and we had to get married on land so that it would be legal.
Oh, yeah.
But then he married us again on the high seas. And then at the casino, 22 different casinos, we exchanged vows. And then we had the real thing at St. Anne's.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we were there.
So Alaska is one of your favorite
Yeah.
spots.
I think Alaska was really beautiful.
Is there any international spots that you really enjoyed, or any countries outside of the United States that you really enjoyed
Well,
traveling to?
Costa Rica was nice.
Yeah.
And then in when we danced in California, we stood aboard the Queen Mary
Okay.
in Long Beach. Isn't that Long Beach? Yeah. We stood on the Queen Mary.
Nice. I guess some questions less about, or more about, like, your thoughts on things. I guess I wanted to, if you had to give advice to yourself at 30 years old, what would be some advice from current grandpop to your 30-year-old self? What would be some advice you could give to yourself?
You
Take your time.
gotta keep moving.
Gotta keep
That's
moving.
the secret.
Yeah, that's the secret.
And the thing is, enjoy your life while you're young, because before you know it, you're like me. You're an old man.
Yeah.
But whatever you want to do it while you're young. Everything.
What was something you feel like you went out and did while you were young that you're happy that you were able to seize it with your youth?
Well, nothing really held me back. I mean, I was into antique cars.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Tell what were, so growing up, I remember the 2 cars you had. You want to talk about those 2 cars?
Yeah. I got into the antique cars when I was young. I was driving down 13 and there's a Model A there. Model A Ford,
Yeah.
1930. So I said, well, I'm going to buy it.
How old were you when you saw it?
I was maybe in my 30s then.
Okay.
And I take this car home. My wife says, what are you going to do with that? I said, well, I'm going to restore it.
Yeah.
But it was in pretty good shape. So I take it home, and Joey, he was maybe 7 or 8 years old, and we were wondering where he would be. Here, I had the car in the garage. He would be in the garage with a hat on like this. So I got that car, and I told Joey, I says, when you graduate college, I'll give you this car. It was all fixed up by then.
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine restored cars. So what he did, he restored that car, and I did some tile work for him, So the car was in nice shape. So when Joey graduated, I gave him the car. Well, he's going to Drexel at the time, so the car laid in the garage, and then he sees in the paper where a guy wanted to trade a coupe for a 2-door car. So he trades the car, the one that I restored, for this other one.
Yeah.
So we had this coupe, and here, like I say, he was in college. The thing laid in the warehouse, not running. So finally, I said, let's restore it. But what happened, didn't run, so the engine was all seized up.
Oh, yeah.
So we got rid of it. Then he had an MG. So he sold me his MG, and I restored that. Took every nut and bolt off of it, and we took first place every place we went.
That's the red MG.
The red MG.
That's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And then I bought a Model A 31 Roadster. There again, I did a little minor work on it, and that thing placed first place everywhere we went. I got trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to show 2 cars, and then I got all these trophies. I gave most of them away. Then I bought a Mercedes convertible.
Yeah.
Had that restored. I never showed it. But that's the one that in the garage back home, I take it out, and it looks like it was going to rain. I said, well, I had the top down. I said, nah. I was putting it back in the garage. I hit the gas instead of the brake. That car took off. Toom! Right through the garage. Took the back wall of the garage out.
Well, it's a Mercedes. It got that zoom, right?
Yeah. Well, that Mercedes, it looks like, but for a bumper, it had an I-beam. That's the bumper of an MG.
Okay.
And they cover it with chrome. Like I said, that thing went through that chrome. Yeah. I loved, antique cars.
Yeah. No, there's something. Definitely, I remember the car shows on Mill Street that we
Yeah.
would go to,
Yeah,
and even there was one year where drove the Model A in the town parade, and I
Oh,
sat
yeah.
in the back in like the there wasn't a trunk, it was like a little rumble seat, so
Rumble
the trunk
seat.
comes back.
Yeah.
So I remember that.
Then I think we showed it. I think you were with me when we showed it in New Hope.
I kind of remember it.
Yeah,
Tim was there as
Yeah.
well, right? Yeah. So yeah, no, definitely
that was one of my hobbies.
yeah. Tell me about some of your hobbies now. So you have some.
Well, now I'm into wood carving, and the fellow that was teaching it passed away, so it's hard to get the wood. It's special wood that we use for carving. It's pretty easy to carve, but he passed away, so another fellow that joined says, oh, every once in a while he gets a piece of wood. So last week he brought me in a piece of wood.
Yeah.
I'm working on a dog.
my puppy.
Yeah. So, but I enjoy that.
Yeah.
I also, on Wednesdays, to keep me busy, I was going to card, playing poker,
Okay.
but they broke up. The place closed down.
How about what got you into painting and all the sketch work and all that? How
Well,
long?
the college was given free lessons to veterans. So I signed up. They gave me a paint kit and, showing us how to draw. Well, I told the woman, I said, when I was in high school, I flunked art. So I'm no artist.
Yeah. But now I know you can't see all the paintings, but your skill at doing all of them have increased dramatically. They're really good.
Yeah, some of them came out pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something I admire from you is you work with your hands a lot, whether it be carving or painting or all these things. I think you have tremendous skill at creating with your hands, which is definitely a skill that I feel like is being lost a little bit, just because like some people's skills are with digital and things like that. So the ability to create with your hands, whether it be through woodworking or artistry or anything like that, is just a really special talent. And I feel like you have a good breath and also a willingness to try new things. Especially, like, when did you start carving or painting? How old were you?
I would say I've been carving maybe 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, so you started in your late 80s.
Yeah.
So I think something I see or you hear a lot is literally people that are 30 years old. Like my peers will be like, I don't want to try to learn, like it's too late. I wish I would have started earlier. But that carving is a perfect example where you started when you were 88 years old. So what is some advice you'd have or your thoughts about your willingness to try new things?
Well, there's some of the carvers, they're young,
Yeah.
and some of them are good. They got better eyesight, I guess. But, yeah.
Yeah, no, so you have all these, the other thing is like, you have your carvings, but then you used to make all the things with the trains.
Oh,
the-
And another thing, we had gone to like find out different things, and one Sunday we went to a place, and they says build ponds, fish ponds. So we go. They said, well, Jeannie and I, we go around. They says, no problem. So while we were building the house, we said, let's put in a pond. Well, my nephew with a backhoe dug the hole, but what happened back there was a building,
Yeah.
and they had all these iron, I forget what you call them, coming out of the
Oh, yeah.
concrete. So I cut them off, and more come up. So I didn't know what to do. Give up the pond or keep cutting these rebars.
Yeah.
I broke 2 pair of those.
The rebar
Cutters.
cutters. Yeah.
Finally, we decide, okay, let's put the pond in. So I got into the pond. Another week, we go, guy has trains running Garden Railroad. Let's give it a shot. So we go to different train meetings, join the club, and I put trains out there running.
Yeah. No, especially I remember we in our town we have something called Bristol Day, and your house was one of the. They had like several open houses where you could come and tour.
Yeah. We had open house 2 or 3 times here where people come through the house, you know. Then we figured, well, let's show them the yard. Well, when we have the trains running, the little kids out there.
Oh, it was a blast.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
The fish in the pond.
So it was nice showing the house and the trains.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think it's cool to see how many different hobbies that you have, right? You talked about antique cars and talk about all the artistic things in the trains. I think it's definitely something where it sounds like you are always interested in doing a lot of different things.
Yeah. I got to keep moving.
Absolutely.
That's my...
And I think, yeah, sometimes if it's like if you're bored, then you're boring. Like, yeah, there's so many different things that you can do and learn. And I think for myself, the difference between me at 20 and me at 30 is I only like to do things that I was good at when I was younger. And I didn't want to be bad at something, so I would avoid trying it because I wouldn't be good at it. And I realized that I'll never get to do anything new if I only do what I'm good at. So I think for me, I recognize to just try new things, and it's okay to be bad at it because you're new, you know? Yeah. And seeing you and seeing maybe your first wooden carving compared to the ones that you do now, it's like, yeah, you stick with it. At any age you can improve your skills.
Yeah. See, a lot of these people do carvings. They do it all day. You know, the only time I do carving is once a week.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, they do it every day, and they're good.
Yeah, but it's you.
The more you do, the better you get.
Absolutely, that's with kind of everything, right?
Yeah.
What would your idea of you keep moving, right, to avoid like the static kind of lifestyle, what would you say is like when you're doing anything, where do you focus? Like when you're carving, do you focus on like the individual things, or does that just help you relax your thoughts? Or
When I'm carving, I try to picture, you know, picture. I have to, I can't just carve. I have to see.
okay,
Also, with paintings, you know, people can just draw. I have to see something.
like visualize the final
Yeah.
product. I see that. Even would you say like that's kind of like even with doing something like installing kitchens, like understanding visualizing what the final product will look like, or
Yeah. In installing kitchens, yeah, I had to really visualize, you know, what when I went in to design them,
yeah,
I'd have to picture what it's going to look like, you know,
yeah,
and then I would draw.
draw it out. Yeah, I think that's like a major I like understand like visualization is definitely a talent or something that you can work on, right? You have to be able to think the idea first and then whatever you're gonna create, right? Like it's part of the creative process, would you say?
Yeah, that's yeah. One thing is you have to enjoy what you're doing. You know,
Yeah.
if you enjoy it, you'll never work a day in your life.
Do you feel like
Right?
you have enjoyed the majority
I
of your
did.
days?
I really, really enjoyed it. In other words, I remember, I forget who it was. I said, you know, I can't wait till Monday to get back to work,
Yeah.
you know. And the guy said, are you crazy? You know, but if you like what you're doing,
No, I couldn't agree more. I think if you have the mentality, you wake up every morning, you're like, God, I don't feel like doing that. Well, at no point during the day are you gonna just magically turn around. But if you wake up excited for what lies ahead, that mentality shift makes it more exciting, whether you're at work or at home or whatever it might be. It's really, I think now people are recognizing that a little bit more, like enjoying what you're doing. You don't
Yeah.
have to work, but I think maybe that that message isn't necessarily taught or in school, or like we focus on what you're going to do for work, or what you need to, like all the things that you need, rather than focusing on what you're actually doing and enjoying what you're doing. Like it seems like from literally as soon as you came back, you knew that you enjoyed working with your hands. And you got to create a life where you always worked with your hands and create a successful business on that. So I'm the same way. I used to work on the computer all the time, but I've always enjoyed sports and physical fitness. And now I'm in the process of doing the same thing, where I'm trying to create a business around physical fitness and being able to teach martial arts and everything like that. So you're definitely an inspiration for me, recognizing that not having to like sell your time and not enjoy every day.
yeah, you have to enjoy every day.
Absolutely. I guess like some final questions or final thoughts. Is there like anything that you feel fear or that you've avoided in your life? Like, I think sometimes, or at least from my point of view, I recognize sometimes if I was afraid of something or if I avoided something, and then I actually went out and did that thing, I actually ended up enjoying it, or I felt like, oh, that was holding me back. Do you feel like there was like either something that you avoided and then did it and enjoyed it, or
No.
no? That's a fantastic.
Whatever I wanted to do, I did. That's it.
I mean, it's very simple, but I don't think maybe you do, maybe you don't recognize the power in that. I think a lot of people want to do, but then don't do.
No, there's nothing that I wanted to do that I didn't.
That's really empowering. And I think there's a power in the simplicity of that message. Whatever you wanted to do, you did it. Would you say that who was either books or people that were like major inspirations for you at any point in your life? Was there any, like, a book that you read or like specific person or author or any figure that you feel like you drew inspiration from?
No. Right now I read quite a bit of books, but they're all murder
mysteries.
I think I should read different things, but
no, you read what you enjoy. That's what reading's for.
If I open the book, first 5 pages don't have a murder in it.
We need to cut to the chase quickly. Open, boom, someone's dead. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay. Yeah, no.
The one I just read, there were eight murders.
8 murders.
Well, so I just started a new book today. I think there's 5 already. 4.
Yeah. we got to get a multiple scene thing. One isn't just enough anymore. Oh, that's funny. Good.
But what I'm doing now is this painting by numbers.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, there's
Holy God.
There's a fall painting that he did that's tremendous.
But I enjoy it.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. How do you feel when you complete a painting or a carving, like finishing it? What would you say? How does it feel to complete a project?
They, like I say, they're pretty good, But like I said, I've taken first time I showed 3 things that I did. I took first and second prizes.
Oh yeah, you're definitely your own worst critic. I think all your art is tremendous. I think it's much better than pretty good. Awesome. I appreciate you for having the conversation with me. I think this was pretty fun. What do you think?
Good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it's fun to hear your story and also just recognize how many similarities I feel like while the maybe environment was different, and like similarities into how we think and things like that. And I really appreciate, like, in general, all the things that I have learned from you, whether you're conscious of it or not. So I think it's really cool that we were able to sit down and just have a cool conversation.
I hope you learned anything from me.
Of course. No, I think honestly, the idea of enjoying every day, while it sounds maybe simple or even it seems obvious, is really missing from today's culture, even more so than maybe previous, just because there's so much stimulation and maybe societal expectations. So I think a lot of times, or a lot of people may feel like they need to do something to enjoy the day, that they have to either acquire something or win something or be something, and then they get to be happy. The idea that you can just enjoy the day by going to work or enjoying the food that you eat is like really a beautiful idea that I think more people, if they implemented that mindset or work towards that mindset, would find their days maybe a little more happy or more fulfilling. So that's something that I've always that there's a lot of little grandpop things I say. One of my favorites is buy cheap, get cheap.
Yeah.
Grandpop, you don't know how many times I say that. Anytime Evie will buy something and then it falls apart, buy cheap, get cheap. You gotta invest. You can't expect world class products for cheap prices, right? So yeah, there's lots of little things that I know that they're sayings or lessons from you that are part of my life, and they're usually all like very simple, usually comical things, and I feel like having that lightness and humor in my life has made me much happier, and it's definitely been an inspiration and good direction in my life. So, of course, Grandpa, I love you very much.
Love you too. Keep breathing.
Keep breathing. Absolutely. I'll end it with that story. So my name on Instagram is Keep Breathing MMA, and why keep breathing? On Grandpop's 95th birthday, the whole family's in the living room, and my dad asks my grandpa, what wisdom can you pass on, or what's some good advice for everybody? And without missing a beat, Grandpa was like, keep breathing. And everybody laughed, but for me, I was on a long run. I was on a 17-mile run, and because I don't plan things well, I didn't bring a phone or anything. And at mile 6, I blew out my Achilles, and I was in a lot of pain, and I didn't know what to do. Right, so I'm 6 miles from my car. So I can either walk back 6 miles, or I can just continue. So I was kind of feeling all the feelings, right? And I really, for whatever reason, I remembered that moment, right? That you talked about keep breathing, and I relaxed, and I focused on my breath. And I finished the run. I finished the run fast, actually, with a busted leg. And I learned on that run, I had a moment of clarity, like a true moment of clarity, recognizing that all the external noise, the thoughts in my head about stopping or the pain or all these things, they only exist upstairs. And if I focus on my breath, if I literally follow the advice of just keep breathing, accept your situation and breathe through it, focus on the breath, that I'm capable of way more than I think I am. So whether you quite literally the advice of keep breathing to stay alive, for me, it compounded into a meditation on like focusing on my breath, being in my body, and helping me tune out the external noise. It was a profound moment in my life, and I don't think it's a coincidence that it came from advice that you had given me, even in jest. So I've used that as my name and my moniker, and I actually even have it tattooed on my right arm, so I remind myself in any time, in a time of struggle, in a time of self-doubt, all those feelings, if I keep breathing, if I truly follow the advice of just keep breathing, like I recognize all the clouds will pass. I'll be able to just be, and there's a beautiful simplicity in that. So once again, thank you so much for sitting down and doing this, and I had a lot of fun doing this.
My pleasure. I enjoyed it.
Good. Okay. Thank you guys, and we'll see how this comes out.